Fat, skinny, in between, doesn't matter. The spike helps.
I don't understand audio spikes, so this is all of
No.
these little squiggly lines are fascinating to me.
Yeah, I don't really understand the waveform. As I understand it, what I do understand of it is it's very similar to, it's actually the same technology as what records do, but not digitally. No, sorry, but digitally instead of physically.
Huh.
It's like they're basically just writing this, like what we're looking at in Audacity, onto a record. And I could be totally wrong about that. You know what? I feel like I'm very underqualified to be talking about this.
Aren't
What
you
do
the
you
AV
mean?
guy?
Exactly.
AV doesn't particularly always include records of all things. Speaking
You're
of
just not
records,
really doing your job.
I mean, as I understand how records work, that tracks.
Okay,
I'm not sure if that's how waveforms work, but I think that's how records work.
Yeah, well, I'm sure somebody in the audience will be more than happy to correct my horrible everything.
It's gonna be me.
Oh boy. Okay, well, at any rate, I feel like we should probably introduce our guest. Do you want to take it this time, Isaiah? Because I did last time.
No, it's okay.
Okay, all right.
You can do it.
Yeah, you don't know anything about anyone. Ever.
Well, that's because they've both been your guests.
That's fair. That's very true.
Because you're a tyrannical person and you won't let me do anything.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Just because I spring things on you doesn't mean I'm a tyrannical person.
I don't know, man. This is very last minute. I wasn't ready for it. And
that's on you. That's on you.
I was asked to be here less than 12 hours ago. I don't know what you're on about.
Yes. It's been a very busy week for the person that brings on guests, apparently.
Oh, cool. You have friends. Must be nice.
You know people too. Don't bring this on me.
Yeah, but their availability does not match up too well with ours.
You got to give them some time in advance. If you let them know in advance.
The ones that I would like to bring on here, one of them works on the weekends from, 6 o'clock to 4 p.m.
Ugh.
So,
6 a.m.?
6 a.m.
Oof. Waking up, man. That's
Oh,
rough.
no, absolutely. It's terrible. But anyways,
the person that we have on the podcast today is Colton Covert.
Hey. Woo, yeah.
I'm hesitant
How's
to
it going,
say,
everybody?
I'm hesitant to give you a title of the guy that knows a lot about aliens. What would you call that study? Is that cryptozoology?
What the hell did you call me?
Cryptozoology is the study of anomalous animals that science hasn't recognized. So the technical term for knowing a lot about aliens is ufology.
Ufology.
Which is a word that it's kind of a dumb word.
It's like UFO-logy?
Yep.
Interesting.
Oh.
But that didn't change when they changed the name UFO to
what do you call it now?
UAV, yeah.
No one has changed the acronym except the US government. And that's entirely because they're like, no, it's not aliens. Don't associate it with aliens. Even though the acronym UFO was originally, it stands for unidentified flying object, which can mean literally anything from a plastic bag to a flying saucer.
And
as long as you look at it and don't understand what it is, then it's a UFO.
And UAV is what? Unmanned aerial vehicle?
Unidentified aerial vehicle.
How do they know it's a vehicle? Doesn't vehicle imply there's something inside?
Well, okay, so no. Now I'm wrong on that. UAV is unmanned aerial vehicle. What the government has changed the acronym to is UAP.
Oh.
UAP is unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Honestly, more extraterrestrial than unidentified flying object.
Yeah, object versus phenomena? Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
One's a little more mystical than the other.
Mysterical, even.
Mysterical?
That's definitely a word.
Is that your word of the week?
No.
What does mysterical mean?
No, it would have been your turn to pick a word of the week, actually.
Okay, all right. Let's just...
Yeah, don't play me.
Yeah. At any rate, the reason that I wanted to bring you on, and I brought you on such short notice, Colton, was because there's been a lot of weird stuff happening this last week. Specifically, I give the dates, I guess. That would be February. When did this start? The 7th? It's been about 2 weeks since the balloon was shot down.
Yeah, it technically started with the balloon, which we know was a balloon.
Right.
Because China got butthurt over it. And then now we're back to... So the way I understand this, listening to media reports, is there's conflicting reports about how the U.S. found out about the balloon, how they detected it, but either way, NORAD recalibrated their radar to start looking for stuff smaller than like normal sized fighter jets or whatever else, right?
Right.
Because
wait, hold on.
Mhm.
Let me pause here for Isaiah's sake, because I don't think you know too much about this particular situation. Do you, Isaiah?
Yeah, I learned about it literally last week when y'all brought it up.
Yes. I think it was a pressing topic at the moment because it had just happened, but now it's been about a week since that happened, and there's been a lot more stuff. So, I'm not sure where to stop the blanket, but do you think you could recap what has happened that people are freaking out about?
Oh man. I mean, I guess the gist of it is, the U.S. shot down 3 things. UAPs, I guess, is their classification right now. The government swears they're not. The government seems to be implying that there's some kind of spy balloon or spy drone or whatever. The truth is maybe a little more complex than that, because there's conflicting reports. Like, oh man, where was that? What was the article that Jacob linked? There's a university somewhere that thinks one of the things that got shot down might have been one of their scientific weather balloons,
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
I
Because
did
the
see
military
that.
has been shooting these down with Sidewinder missiles.
Yes, it was like a hobby club or something like that.
Yeah,
They-
yeah.
They're like, we tried contacting the FBI and they didn't return our call. So they may have just blown $400,000 shooting down our hobby weather balloon.
Oh, dude, that's so. One of the ones they shot down, the last one actually, the one that was over Lake Huron, that went into Canadian airspace.
Oh yeah.
So NORAD detected this thing near the U.S.-Canada border, and the U.S. scrambled a jet to take it down, and it went into Canadian airspace. And we called up Canada and said, "Hey, can we shoot this thing down?" And Canada was just cool with that, I guess.
Hmm.
And it went down into Lake Huron, apparently, which is part of the reason why they haven't recovered it. By the way, well, no, actually, that's a bit of a tangent I can get onto later. Anyway, um, the whatever it was that was shot down over Lake Huron, uh, the U.S. Air Force, their pride and joy of air-to-air weaponry is the Sidewinder missile.
Okay.
It is the fire and forget, never miss. It's not a super weapon, but it's kind of the gold standard. And these things cost $400,000 per missile.
God damn.
Yeah.
So working under the pretense that this was some kind of weather balloon or other more mundane artifact, artifact's not the right word, mundane thing. The U.S. military missed the first one, so they just whiffed a Sidewinder missile on this thing that was over Lake Huron. Where'd that missile go? Dunno. How the gold standard in air tracking weaponry just miss it? Dunno. Don't ask questions. Second one took it down though. So that's $800,000 spent at least to take down what might be just somebody's. It could literally be somebody's hobby project.
I mean, what's
Damn.
$1 million, right? Just a drop in the bucket, really.
Yeah, true. But
Well,
yeah,
there's been
I
a
mean,
lot of conspiracy surrounding that they haven't been able to recover any of the parts or any
they
of the
super
wreckage,
haven't.
right?
They gave up. So no, there were 3 shot down. There was the one that they think might be from that hobby club, if I'm remembering it correctly.
Oh, they
That one
did
has been
recover
recovered.
that?
They did
Oh,
recover that
okay.
one. And the U.S. is preliminarily saying, yeah, this is some kind of balloon. The ones that were shot down over Lake Huron and Dead Horse, Alaska, which were the ones that everybody was really flipping out over as being like UFOs,
Mm,
those two have been deemed unrecoverable due to weather circumstances.
I bet.
fascinating.
So basically, they can't get where they need to be in the Bering Sea because of the ice and just how the weather is to get the one in Alaska. And I guess conditions on Lake Huron are so bad, and it's wherever this thing went down, it's also really deep, and they just can't seem to get it, which is fascinating in its own right because e- let's assume this isn't like at all related to aliens and this is some high-tech spy craft or whatever from another country.
Uh-huh.
You're really not going to pull out all the stops to go get that thing? Really? Like, come on,
Hmm.
guys.
It ain't hurting anybody buried under 7 tons of ice. Unless it's
I mean,
still
yeah, but
transmitting.
you'd think from because the different news articles and stuff. Oh man, where I was trying to find the exact article that was talking about this. The objects that everybody was flipping out over have been described as things like one of them was octagonal, the other one was described as cylindrical.
Hmm.
So people are seeing geometric shapes flying around up there, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of been a running phenomenon for a while now.
Yeah. It seems like every couple of years we get a big alien scare might not be the right word for it, but it like
Scandal.
yeah, like re-enters public scrutiny. Like
Yeah.
there was that one that they were going to charge and like take over Area 51 a couple of years ago. And that was
That was
Oh
just
yeah.
somebody being a dumbass, though. That wasn't like, oh, there's a new scandal with Area 51. That was just somebody memeing,
well,
which
yeah,
is
but there
even
was
better.
supposed to be it was going to be a big like didn't like 500,000 people register for the Facebook page?
Yeah.
That number
Probably.
sounds correct. Yeah.
But then only like 40 people showed up or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they just kind
Because,
of hung out outside the base and then went home.
well, I think a lot of people realized that the military was going to take it seriously.
Oh, I
There's
mean,
a
yeah, yeah.
there's a great tweet, man. It's covered in Internet Historian's video.
Hmm.
But the U.S. military basically got wind of this and tweeted out like a picture of the guards and security at the gates to Area 51 as like a veiled threat of
Hmm.
what you're gonna see if you storm Area 51. And they took down the tweet because people were like, "Oh, you're threatening the lives of civilians."
Wow.
It's like, yeah, yes, they are. If you're gonna be stupid enough to jump into like a high security military complex, they will shoot you. That's just how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I don't know how Area 51 has. I'm sure there are tons of documentaries out there about how it got to be such a mythological place in American like history.
I mean, at least when it comes to UFOs, it started with Bob Lazar back in the 80s.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
he's a
His name popped
really
up like pre-pandemic. He had a big surge in internet popularity.
yeah. 2019, he was on Joe Rogan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he
That,
was on Joe Rogan, and that's what blew him up for a little while.
yep, he's a really interesting fellow. Because there's a bunch of stuff that you could say, oh yeah, this kind of discredits his story, but there's also a lot of weird stuff. Like
Hmm.
he swears he worked at Los Alamos. He has like pictures and paperwork and stuff to prove that he worked there. People who used to work there say like, yeah, I worked with this guy at Los Alamos. Uh, and then you go and ask Los Alamos, and they're like, we've never heard of this dude. He never worked here,
Hmm.
which fits with his claim of being scrubbed from ever having worked there in an attempt to discredit him.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty solid strategy, I'd say.
Yeah,
Wow. No paper trail,
he's
except his paper trail, which is a false paper trail, according to the people in power.
Very
yeah.
complicated relationship.
The threads of fate are twined and wispy.
Area 51's cool though because even like beyond the alien thing,
Yeah.
which if there were aliens at Area 51, the second Bob Lazar came out with his like, I mean, this was in like the 1980s, so he literally made this like VHS expose, right? And then I guess that got passed around to news stations, and people like copied it and passed it around to their friends, and that's how his whole deal kind of spread.
Huh.
Um, but as soon as that happened, even if they'll they try to discredit the dude and everything, I wager if there was anything alien related to Area 51, it's long gone. There's no way there's still like a UFO or whatever sitting in that hangar.
Yeah, they've moved it to another storage facility because it's too obvious to be in 51.
Mhm.
Yeah, 51's just the cover story now because everybody's obsessed with it.
Right.
That's why they moved everything to 52.
They had to build another one.
Area 52 technically exists.
Oh.
How many
The
areas
the
are
whole
there?
a lot because it's not even it's a military designation for different sections of the desert out there that they're using for like firing ranges and stuff. So
Oh.
completely beyond like the veil of secrecy and UFOs and all that, there's a bunch of useless desert out here the military has just co-opted and sectioned off into different numbered areas for use as testing ranges for anything as mundane as just the next generation of missile to next generation stealth fighter craft. Like the F-117 stealth fighter was tested out there. Stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. Isn't that the same desert they did the atomic test in, like back in World War II?
It's not the exact same like spot, but it's not too far off. It's in the same state.
Oh. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I wonder if the desert life has like is there a mutant? Is there a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle out there?
I mean, yeah, with that much radiation. Plus, what was the? Oh yeah, the other thing that got that Area 51 blew up over is there was some kind of lawsuit that like a couple of guys who worked at Area 51 died because of the government's negligence.
Hmm.
Which is everybody thought, oh yeah, it's due to some crazy experiment with like UFOs or something. No, whatever the government was doing was really toxic, and they decided the best way to get rid of it was to burn it in a big burn pit. And these two like inhaled the fumes and died.
That lighting things on fire to get rid of it seems like a popular strategy among the government.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the like derailed trains that the one I think it's in
Oh, yeah.
Ohio or something like that,
Yeah.
where they were just like, well, we have all this, like acid on the ground, but it's flammable. So if we just light it on fire, I'm sure it'll be fine. And then they lit it on fire, and it's just this giant plume of death. It's all the way up into the atmosphere, and the whole state is horrible. I don't know why light it on fire to get rid of it was the first response there. We spilled oil in the Gulf and had like Dove still runs commercials about them scrubbing oil out of duck fur.
Oh yeah, that. You're thinking of Dawn dish soap.
Dawn, yeah, that's right. Dawn. What is
He's
Dove?
still totally
Dove
right.
is
that
Dove
the
is
chocolate
body
company?
wash.
Oh.
Oh no, wait. Well, Dove does chocolate and like bar soap. Unless those are two different companies, which I believe they're the same company.
That's a whoa. Wait a second. You're
They-
right.
Is it actually the same company?
Okay, all right. We got to Google this now. Is Dove? Wait.
Hold on, Dove chocolate. Dove chocolate and soap. Thank you, Google. They're not the same company.
They're not.
What?
Dove chocolate is owned by the Mars Corporation.
Oh.
Mars bars, guys.
Oh, I guess if you think about it, the symbols that they have are different too. The bar soap is an actual dove, but the chocolate is the word dove. I know that's not
But
How
too
did
crazy.
they?
but-
How did they get away with that?
The font of the word Dove looks so similar on both.
Yeah,
of them,
It's very similar.
I like that one of the top article results is Dove chocolate and Dove soap the same company? And then in parentheses it says truth. I have to click on this one. It's a baking website as well. Oh, this is one of those stories that It's, it's one of those recipes that starts off with a story. There are two things I enjoy, and that's good chocolate and a nice smelling bar of soap.
Oh,
Okay,
snap.
just tell me, are they the same company? They are
They're
not.
not.
Wow.
I do have a random fun fact that I just discovered just now.
Okay.
Dove and Axe come from the same parent company.
Wow. They're just cornering the whole market.
This is not Mars. This is another corporation.
Oh yeah, this is like the soap and Axe body spray.
I see. Wow. Yeah. Okay. I mean, at least those are peripherals. This is the same type of
Yeah, one of them will have you
smell better thing.
smelling good. The other one will have you an atomic bomb.
What?
What?
Axe body spray is
Are you talking about axe bombing?
yes, yes.
That is an activity that I think has died ever since there was a certain group of people in middle school that did that. I
You
don't.
wouldn't know about
Okay,
that.
you know what? You're right. I'm not familiar with middle school culture. Maybe it's
You
still
know what?
going
I had
on.
to. I was gonna look up axe bombing because I didn't actually know what that was right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And the first article I get is from findlaw.com. Axe bomb, in quotes, trend linked to arson arrests and injuries.
Oh,
I mean, I believe it. We have. I'm not ashamed to admit that I have used axe and a lighter to create a flamethrower. I mean, this stuff is explosive.
it's really potent. Yeah.
It
Oh,
is.
dude, hairspray is the way you do that.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. If you just wedge that thing in there and throw it into a room, you could, like John Wick, just flick a cigarette in there and the whole thing would explode.
Yeah.
The act of taking a can of popular spray deodorant, placing a rubber band on it so the can sprays a continuous amount, then the can is placed in a room with the effect of a smoke grenade.
Yep. Have you guys ever
Beautiful.
been axe bombed?
No.
No,
Well,
but I
okay,
did
all
go to
right.
middle school, so basically,
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Yeah. But I mean like full on like just hanging out in a room playing video games and then the door gets kicked open and someone throws a can of axe into the room.
I have not.
Wow.
Thank God.
It's traumatizing, I can tell you that.
You've been axe bombed for real, for real?
Once in my life. Yep.
By whomst?
When?
It was a long time ago. I was probably this is before I went to Japan for the first time. So I was 10, maybe 10 to 12, somewhere in that range.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a time when I was hanging out at a friend's house and we were playing, I'm pretty sure it was a weird core memory that just unlocked. And we were playing Ty the Tasmanian Tiger on either
That's
the
very
Wii or
specific.
the Xbox. I don't really remember. And I was just like hanging out, and it was me kind of doing my own thing, and then my two friends left the room. And, you know, I wasn't really paying attention because I was throwing boomerangs at stuff and being awesome. And then a couple minutes later, I hear the door, like, just kind of slightly crack open. And then like, whispering, and I look over, and it's this two, I just see a can of Axe rolled into the room, and it's just spraying out the top of this thing. It wasn't a big room either. It's potent. The smell of Axe is a powerful thing.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, axe is ugh.
I mean, I don't know how it's so popular. Man, I don't know if it is as popular as it used to be. I feel like there's a lot more competition nowadays.
It's not popular with adults, I can tell you that.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't think I own any Axe products. Sorry,
That's
Axe.
good.
Yeah.
Don't
Do you
sponsor
own
us.
any cologne?
Cologne?
No. Yeah, that wasn't a jab at you, by the way. That was a genuine question.
No, I don't own any cologne. Jackson owns cologne, and I bet he
Oh.
left it, so I kind of own cologne now.
So you're just a klepto. Got it.
A klepto? No, he left all of his stuff. Okay, I'm not getting into this.
It's free real estate. He left it there. He left the
Yes,
country.
that's very true. Same with his monitor that I'm about to quote unquote borrow until he
He
manages.
didn't take his monitor?
Not yet. Oh, I mean, no, he didn't take it, and I haven't taken it yet. But I need a second monitor, man. I've wanted a second monitor for years and just been like, I don't want to buy a second monitor.
Now's your chance.
Now's my chance. It's just sitting there, ripe for the picking.
Menacingly?
No, if anything, it's innocently.
Oh.
All
It
right.
doesn't know what I'm gonna do with it.
This is taking a weird turn.
Yeah, let's. I'm just here for the UFOs.
I'm gonna be able to keep Discord open on one monitor while I work on the other one. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, now you can have Discord open on one side and look up Google Facts at the same time.
Yes, I can tab out of this thing because I can't right now because I don't have a second monitor, so I have to do everything on my phone.
Oof.
Just first
Dang.
world problems, am I right?
Absolutely.
I'm not efficient enough.
Get good.
This is why we have a work crisis right now. We're too efficient. I keep bumping my desk. My mouse keeps freaking out.
Have you tried not doing that?
No. Well, I haven't yet, but maybe I will.
Got it.
Classic. We went down a really deep rabbit hole away from like aliens and stuff.
Yep.
That's usually how it goes, let's be honest.
We
This
went
is-
from the Ohio train derailment to axe bombing.
And that logic tracks. I mean, what?
It kind of does, yeah. It's all biological warfare, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Biological, chemical warfare, whatever.
Chemical
it is.
warfare. Yeah, chemical warfare.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
you don't know what was on those trains.
That's very true. Maybe it was just byproduct of axe. But that'd be a. Well, I'd say it would tank their stocks and stuff, but BP is still around, and they just keep putting oil into the ocean for no reason. Are
Yeah.
they still around? I guess they are.
I want to say they are, yeah. They might have gotten absorbed by somebody, but I think they're still on their own. Just nobody talks about it.
Yeah, fourth largest. I guess as of 21, it was the fourth largest investor-owned oil company.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, so it's still around. Incredible. They can absolutely destroy an entire ocean and still be in business.
Yep. Welcome to America.
Damn it, he beat me.
I gotta get their lawyers.
Like, these guys even had a movie made about how bad their spill was.
Yeah.
With freaking Mark Wahlberg, and they're still in business.
Oh, if you don't, if Marky Mark gets involved, there's some serious topics.
Marky Mark, Jesus Christ.
It's hard to survive a cinematic hit piece on your business. I guess congrats to them for remaining on top.
Yeah.
Just try to refrain from getting any more ducks covered in oil. I can only handle so much of Sarah McLachlan.
Don's gonna sponsor them to spill more oil so they can make new commercials.
People were buying our soap like crazy. Turns out it's the same company. They're what is it called? Warmongering? They're selling weapons to both sides.
Nice.
It's powerful marketing strategy.
Fair, yeah.
Hey man, people will still remember that grease cutting power of Dawn because of BP.
Mhm.
Advertising, man. How does it work?
Anyway, this episode's sponsored by BP.
Yeah.
Now for today's sponsor, Raid Shadow
Yeah,
Legend.
that'd be a wild sponsor to have. Just imagine having that on a shirt. Sponsored by BP.
I don't think you want that.
Just got some oil stains around the
you
logo.
don't understand. Yeah. You don't understand. They're changed. They haven't spilled oil in 2 whole weeks.
Oh, God.
And here's the point of the podcast where we've run out of topics. Usually
We're
always
half
happens.
an hour in,
Yep.
if that.
This is
Well, guess we're cutting it short today.
Yeah.
We can go back to talking about aliens. I don't know what you guys want to do.
Yes, no, I was about to say, this is sort of unrelated, but the Area 51 thing always makes me think of Indiana Jones. Like that, the giant warehouse full of boxes that's at the end of, what is it?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that Raiders? I think it's at Raiders.
Yeah,
the
it's the end of
first
Raiders,
movie.
and then it's in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yes, yeah. And now speaking of Indiana Jones, they're coming out with a new one, and
Oh,
I don't
really?
know. Yeah, it's supposed to come out I think in the summer sometime. They've been working on it for like years. I think I first heard about it back in maybe 2018. I feel like,
Hmm.
and they're finally gonna be releasing it, and they will release the trailer at the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl, we can talk about that. That just happened.
Oh yeah, I totally watched that.
Yeah, the Super Bowl was great.
You guys
Yeah,
didn't
I
watch the
love
Super Bowl?
I was kind of no, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I wasn't even
I
that busy.
was that was Sunday? Was I doing anything Sunday?
Watching the
I was
Super Bowl?
probably playing games.
How dare you, sir?
I was actually playing. I was playing Madden. Yeah, I was having my own Super Bowl. Totally.
Apparently, the ending to it was a little controversial.
Oh, I heard about that part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't read into it, but I saw like headlines.
Yeah. People were kind of mad that they made a call about. I think they made a holding call, which was really sus, and basically made the ending of the game just be boring. Like I saw somebody describe, yeah, there was two versions of how this game might have ended. One of them was they get a holding call, a free first down, and they run out the clock for 2 minutes. The other was they turn the ball over, and it's if they get within field goal distance, we're going to overtime. And the game would have just kept on going on. But apparently, that did not happen. And now a lot of people think that the whole sport is rigged.
No way, really?
Where do you fall on the football is rigged? Or actually, I should say all organized sports are rigged. This isn't wrestling. Wrestling, admittedly, is rigged.
What do you
At least
mean?
wrestling's open about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, how are they not busted for insider trading if all of this stuff like FanDuel are taking bets and stuff, but the outcome is predetermined? Maybe there's bets on wrestling as well. I have no idea.
I feel like it was pre-recorded.
Pre-recorded?
The whole
Yeah.
Super Bowl was pre-recorded. Is there an alternate ending out there they're gonna release on the Blu-ray?
Yeah, the director's cut later on.
I guess it depends on which reality you came from. That the Chiefs or the Eagles win.
It's like the Mandela effect.
Yeah. We're going to see it happening more and more in the next couple of years. As our reality collides with the next one.
The way things are going, that wouldn't surprise me.
Who's got that on their bingo card for 2023? We collide with an alternate version of Earth. Suddenly we're all fish people.
What if I don't want to be a fish person?
Yeah, that doesn't seem. I don't know about that.
Shouldn't have collided with another reality. What can I tell you?
I'd prefer to be a crocodile.
Well, okay, fine. You could be a crocodile.
Hell yeah.
Why do I gotta be an eldritch fish person? That doesn't.
Fine. He gets to be a crocodile. What do you want to be? A lemur? What do you want from me?
Wait, no, I don't want to be a crocodile anymore. That sounds kind of lame.
You can't change. You already locked in.
No, I didn't. I never clicked submit.
Yeah, you did. I heard you.
No.
You said, "Yeah, sweet. I'm a crocodile." That's good enough for me. That's locking it in.
I want to be a giraffe instead.
Why do you want to be a giraffe? What could possibly be better than an alligator lives? Alligators are dinosaurs.
I said crocodile, not the same.
They're like the same thing, okay? If you're about to argue with me about snoot shape and how many teeth they have, I'm gonna leave this call right now.
One of them also has stubby legs.
Stubby legs.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You know
But
what the difference
anyways,
is between a pigeon and a hawk? Nothing.
a lot actually.
One of them eats
there's
seeds, the other one eats pigeons, but they're both birds.
You know, that sounds very specious of you.
Speciest?
Yeah. Like racist, but for species.
I don't understand. That wasn't a negative thing.
You're saying that they're all the same. They all look the same. They all do the same thing.
Yeah, just like humans.
You can't say that.
I can't say that all humans are the same.
Nah, we're not all the same.
We're the same in the hawks and pigeons are the same.
Jonathan. Anyways, I want to be giraffe so I can be tall.
That's your deep down dream, isn't it? To be tall.
Listen, if there's a higher power, or if it's the universe, whoever created us, or even if it's just straight evolution, they knew that if they made me 5'7", I'd be unstoppable.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Well,
2 inches makes a lot of difference.
you gotta wear lifters, man.
What
Pumps?
am I, Robert Downey Jr.?
What are they called? Elevator
Did you mean
shoes.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah,
How tall
Tom
is
Cruise
Tom
is short.
Cruise?
Like
Tom
5'2".
Cruise is really short. He's shorter than some of the female co-stars he acts alongside.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's some pretty silly pictures of him standing on apple boxes.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, 5'7". If
He's
only.
5'7". He's taller than you are.
Hey! No need to bring that up, man.
Jeez, you are short. I didn't realize how short you were.
If you act like... Yes, I am short.
I'm almost an entire foot taller than you are. Well, take it from
Not
two.
even. You're like half a foot taller than
No,
me.
and that's not true. Okay, yes, but on the upper half of half a foot.
Barely.
Okay, well, take it from two tall people. It's awesome. You're missing out on a lot.
I'm gonna bust your kneecaps.
That's pretty accurate.
The weather is better up here. Just so you know.
Oh, I bet. It's probably colder up there too.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Or would it be hotter because heat rises? I don't know.
That's a good
Science
point.
is hard.
That's a fair point, but I don't feel like I'm any warmer or colder. So
Well,
Well,
supposedly a lot of heat escapes the head and the feet.
that's definitely true of the feet.
yeah.
It's one of those, like, when you're sleeping under the covers and you're like, I'm really hot, but you put 1 foot out and then you're good. It
Yep.
like balances out the rest of the temperature for the whole body. Oh
That
my!
can
Wait.
confirm.
Okay, this is something that's been I've been thinking about this on and off for what feels like a month now, because how do I phrase this? So okay, let me know if this is too personal, but do you guys use washcloths in the shower?
Yeah. Yes.
Sometimes.
Over like a
Yeah.
loofah, I mean, like I don't honestly know what all the types of.
I only know like loofahs, washcloths. Those are like the big two that I can think of.
Yeah.
Yes, that same for me, to be totally honest. But for okay, I mean, I'll go first here, because for the longest time I've used a loofah, just because they're cool, right? And they like make more foam. But
Yeah.
and I think the main reason why I stopped using washcloths was I couldn't figure out how to use them. Like,
Well, you see, you put soap on them. And...
no. Hold on. That's what I'm building towards here. Because there was a
Mhm.
time, there was a period when I went on tour, I didn't have a loofah with me. I was using just washcloths, and so I was like, I haven't used a washcloth in probably 10 years. I don't really remember how to do this. Because I haven't, like, I remember using it back in the day and going, what am I supposed to do? Like, how do I do this? Do I rub soap on here and then rub this on me? I don't know. I couldn't quite figure it out. So I was experimenting with different ways of, like, I made like when you put quarters in a sock and then you could spin it and hit people with it?
Yeah. Yes.
It was, I did that, but with a bar of soap. I guess it was like prison style, like a bar
So
of soap in a washcloth.
Oh
And
my
then it was like,
God.
okay, it's in there, right?
Mhm.
So,
Okay, this.
This took a little bit of a turn.
well, my question is, how do you use a washcloth? And why does that seem like something I should have been taught? I guess, is there a proper way to use a washcloth, or is it as long as you are transferring soap onto your body, it doesn't matter how you use it?
I feel like that's accurate. I mean, the way I learned to use a washcloth is you like rub soap onto it, whether it be
Yeah.
liquid soap or a bar of soap, and then you rub the cloth onto yourself.
Yeah.
But
That's
does it
how
not
I learned it too.
does it not like run out of juice really
That's
quickly?
what you
yeah,
put more
but-
soap on there for.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think I'm understanding that there's a reason I like the loofah more, because it makes the product go longer than dumping it onto a washcloth.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I also sometimes I'll like use soap and like rub it on my body first, and then use the washcloth to like scrub my body. If that makes any sense.
Oh, okay. No, that does. That does.
I don't know if that's the right way or not, but depending on how gross I feel that day, I might do it that way.
It,
No, yeah,
Uh,
it makes sense.
yeah.
yeah. It seems like there's a lot of things that I feel like I wasn't, that I learned on my own, and then but I don't think I did it right. Like I arrived at, I know how to use a washcloth, and then I don't think the way that I was doing it was correct.
Mhm.
And I feel like that applies to a lot of aspects of my life. Like, this is the
Like
way that
what
I've done it,
else?
but because I've never talked to anybody about it, like, I don't know what the right way is, because the only way is the way that I'm doing it.
Now you're gonna get ate up in the comments for being gross.
Yeah. That Ew man didn't wash himself from the ages of 12 to 18 because he couldn't figure out how to use a washcloth.
Oh no.
uh,
I'm not saying
Uh,
that I didn't bathe myself.
Are you sure?
I'm just
I
saying.
mean,
I'm just saying, to anybody out there who thinks that they know how to do something, if you ever look at yourself doing that thing and go, it's kind of a weird way to do it, it's probably weird. It's probably not the normal way to do it.
Are you talking
as
about if they
somebody
look at
who
other
knew you
people?
during that time frame, I'm not entirely sure I can confirm that you washed yourself.
Well, I was about 12,000 miles from you during that period.
Oh yeah, I guess so. That's fair.
So you really can't confirm.
Yep. I just
Yeah,
relied on the chlorine in the public pool to clean myself off.
That's not no. Mm-mm.
Oh,
With how many
dude,
people
there's
swim in
so much
public
worse stuff than
pools?
chlorine in that pool.
Yeah.
It was a little acidic. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised I'm alive, considering how much pool water I've ingested in my life.
You were just cleaning out your system, you know?
Is that how that works?
Yeah, you're just building up an immunity.
Yeah.
I had to choose between drinking chlorine or drinking salt water, and there's no middle ground. Why couldn't I swim in a clean, fresh river?
Were you around a clean, fresh river?
I don't know.
Well, that's probably why.
I don't think I would trust a river in Japan, to be totally honest.
I mean,
I didn't trust the
industrialization
ocean.
will do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm spiraling out of control right now.
There's not some like nice high mountain spring that you trust.
There probably is. I mean, there were hot springs, so assumedly there were cold ones as well.
That is how that works. Yeah.
Well, see,
Yeah.
I didn't want to swim in the ocean because I'm deathly afraid of jellyfish.
As you should be.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
that wasn't the only thing out there that was like, why would I swim? Why would I have fun in a place where I may die without ever knowing that there is something that's trying to kill me because it's under the water and it blends in with the floor?
That's why you just go to lakes.
that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. I mean, the ocean is terrifying. I like being on the ocean. I don't like being in the ocean. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
there's stuff in the
Yeah.
ocean that will kill you without even meaning to, just because they exist in an environment where they have to be dangerous all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
I
Think about
couldn't
Steve Irwin.
I couldn't fight a jellyfish. No shot would I win that.
Have you tried?
I don't even know how. No, I've never tried. I don't even know how to kill it. I mean, isn't it like there's no bones in there?
There are no
No.
bones.
To kill it, you technically have to like pop the jelly sack that is like its brain and most of its body. But even then, the stuff in there is the stuff that's gonna burn you because that's what's
Yeah.
on the tentacle.
Yes.
So
Just punch it on the head. It'll get scared and run away.
Yeah, I imagine throwing a punch underwater. How is that gonna work? What did I need to
Obviously,
bring
you're
my
thinking too much about this.
it's not that hard.
I'm not thinking too much about this right now. This is all thoughts that I've had 20 years of my life.
Hmm.
Then I found out, oh, wow, cool. There's a thing out there that floats around and is lethal to a vast majority of people just by existing.
I feel like that's a lot of things.
I don't
to
want
be
to. I don't want to
honest.
swim in there are spikes on the floor, in under the water.
Sea urchins?
Yes, sea urchins. Yes, yeah. You can
Those could
Or
drown
hurt.
out there.
squirrel even.
There's riptides. The ocean. I don't know why the ocean doesn't kill more people. To be totally honest.
Because we started flying over it.
Yes, people
Yeah.
don't go to the ocean anymore. Maybe they do. I have no idea.
They
I
don't
don't go to the
voluntarily go
ocean.
sailing very often. You get those maniacs who like to go on cruises, but
Yes, yeah, that's very true. Sailing is such a niche hobby now.
yeah.
But I have to
Yeah.
imagine they're not concerned about having to fight jellyfish in the ocean. Is it
Usually
irrational?
not.
I don't think I'm being irrational.
I mean,
The odds of me
I would
encountering a
say
jellyfish go up drastically as soon as I enter the ocean.
that's fair.
I mean, especially if you do it in Texas. They're all over the beaches down in Galveston.
Oh, yep, see,
It
exactly.
sucks.
There's a reason why I don't go in the ocean. You can just be
I've
like,
only been to
oh,
the ocean once.
just hanging out. Which ocean?
The Atlantic. Because I was over in South Carolina at one of the beaches, and
Nice.
for spring break a few years ago. But I wasn't there for at the beach for very long because for some reason that spring break decided to be freezing cold, so there wasn't a lot of swimming that happened.
Ah, well, you
Oof.
dodged a bullet there.
Listen, I'm not even worried about the creatures of the ocean because I feel like I would drown before I even encountered anything.
That's racist, sir. First of all,
It's not because I can't swim. It's first of all, damn. No, me and a few friends a few years ago, back in high school, we had went to one of the lakes over in Texas. I think it was Stillhouse or something. I don't
yeah,
remember.
that sounds. I think it's right.
And so went over there, and me and one of my friends were like, "Hey, let's swim all the way to the barrier because we're kind of kooky crazy." And about halfway there, I realized, oh, I'm not physically fit enough for this. But I can't
Man.
turn back because I'm in the middle of the lake and I can't really float, so I'm just gonna die out here.
Right. You're already halfway there. Might as well finish the journey.
Yeah, no, it was terrifying. Somehow I made it back, and I'll never do that again. If I can't touch the ground, I've gone too far.
Okay, what is the fear of the deep sea? Like
Thalassophobia.
Thalassophobia, right? Well, I guess it's maybe not. Is that refer to just a really deep object?
I believe it's just like the fear of the vastness of something.
Yeah, I think it's fear of like the dark abyss.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
You can have thalassophobia for space as well,
Yes, yeah.
I believe.
I think
yeah.
you're
Just
correct, yeah.
kidding. So it's specifically for large bodies of water.
Oh,
The thing I think you're thinking of with like big objects, John, is submechanophobia.
okay. I've never heard of that.
Submechanophobia.
I don't think that's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
Maybe that's what I was
Hold on.
referring to. I've never submechanophobia.
yeah.
Submechanophobia. That's a fear of giant things.
Fear of large submerged machines.
Yeah.
I was
can see that.
associating it with like the large propellers and
That's
stuff.
so specific. Oh, sure.
But look,
Yeah.
I mean, look, some of the photos for like Google Images are great because
Oh,
it
boy.
ranges from anything from like an airplane that's just underwater to like one of those old mechanical sharks or something from
okay.
like a theme park.
Find out if you suffer
Just a
from it.
boat.
I'm actually okay.
I don't really want to find out about that.
You looking to trigger yourself today? Well, boy, do I have the slideshow for you. You're gonna freak out. The rest of your day will be ruined. All you'll think about is giant underwater mechanized objects.
I feel like the U.S. government has an acronym for that.
Probably.
For what? Giant mechanized underwater objects?
Yep.
Gum.
Don't try.
Gma. I was sort of building this this fear of jellyfish thing around to a classic conundrum, really, of the where is your cutoff? Because I think every guy out there has a cutoff of what animal they think they can take.
Oh,
Like if it was a 1 versus 1 between you and an animal, like what is the
Am I
most?
just barehanded?
Well, there's different versions of it. You can,
Okay.
yeah, that you could just do a flat 1v1, which is naked you versus naked that. Whoever wins wins. But then there's also like you can introduce prep time and like weapons and stuff. Because I feel like humans can take a lot more animals if they have a spear than if they're just hand to hand.
Yeah.
So my question is, have you ever thought about what tier of animal you'd be able to take?
Probably common house pets.
That's the biggest you feel comfortable going.
Well, I mean, I know I can't take a big dog. So,
Okay. Well, where's the cutoff dog size wise?
dog size,
Like you got a breed of. I could take something smaller than this, like a Chihuahua.
I can take a Chihuahua or like
Okay.
a Shih Tzu. Like the tiny yapper dogs, easy.
Well, we're of course saying like they go feral and start attacking like a baby, and you have to jump in there to defend this child from a rabid dog. What size of
Interesting.
dog would you go? Yeah, I could take that thing. Or what would you if it was
I feel
a
like a
pit bull,
medium
would you like
size-
question it?
I feel like a medium-sized dog would be fine. Maybe even possibly a pit bull because I know like they have like lockjaw shit.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of pain. I can tell you that. But I feel like maybe a pit bull if the fight or flight really kicks in. But if we're talking if we're not talking like just instinctually like fighting for my life, then I'd say maybe like a medium-sized dog, like maybe like a lab.
But you don't think you could take like a kangaroo or something?
No. Do you see how powerful their legs are?
Yeah. I mean, sure.
They can literally They can knock the breath out of me with one kick.
kangaroo will literally kick your ass.
Literally.
But they're just like they're like people-sized animals, like almost perfectly
That's the
people-sized.
Have you seen an adult kangaroo? Do you see how muscular they are?
Yes, yeah, I've seen the photos of their weird bodies. Yes.
Hell no. You're insane.
Okay, well, what if you had a like a stick? What if you had a stick, a really
Just a
solid
stick?
staff?
Do I know how to actually use it as a weapon, or
you
do I
know
just
how to
have
use it?
my...
You have a staff.
Cool, I have my 24 years of play fighting in my head.
Yes, there you
As
go.
training. No, I don't stand a
He
chance.
comes at me and then I whack and move to the side. Yeah.
Maybe if I knew some self-defense, I might stand a chance. But you're talking to someone who's never been in a real fight.
A kangaroo doesn't know self-defense.
They got instincts.
You have instincts.
Not good ones.
Not like kangaroo instincts.
That's a wild animal, sir.
Well, we used to be wild animals.
Well, we're not now, are we? We're domesticated. Maybe
Yeah,
if I was
indoor
Australian,
people now, really.
I don't
I
know. I
might
feel
be
like
able to.
if you saw the video, well, I guess I don't. There isn't a video now. I think I deleted it. If you saw me and John and Jackson trying to take down a tree, you might
Oh boy.
reconsider whether or not we're domesticated animals. But
God.
We destroyed that limb.
yep.
I was very proud of us. We worked together like Big Monkey. Oh,
Big Monk.
Big Monk took that tree limb all the way off.
Excuse me. I've done some cool stuff like that before. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, taking off limbs from trees.
I don't know how cool it was in the moment. I feel like if someone had just wandered through the woods and saw us doing that, they'd call the police.
Oh my God.
Let's just say it's a good thing that we didn't have an audience, because that could have gone really bad.
You had John and me like bouncing up and down on part of the tree limb, making monkey noises. And then you
It
had
helped. It
Jackson,
did help. It really did.
beating the crap out of like the joint where the branch was gonna break with another stick.
We worked together. We used tools. We used gravity. We
That's
had
what happens when you have a community, you guys.
exactly. We had
Yeah.
everything going for us in that moment, except for common rationality and
Dear God.
Basic human
self-preservation
decency.
instincts. Yeah. At least we didn't hurt ourselves. I think that's an important thing.
Yeah, no.
There was potential. There was potential
Oh,
for
there definitely was, but
quite dramatic injuries coming out of that. We gotta guard ourselves more carefully because we're getting older, man. We're getting to the point where our bodies will not be able to heal from stuff.
speak for yourself. I ain't that old yet.
Everybody
Yeah.
gets there.
No, John, listen, your
Granted,
healing factor's going down.
I do have, and I just noticed this the other day. I scratched like the side of my elbow on the corner of a shelf in my closet
Okay.
some time ago now, and I went, oh, well, this is painful, but it's like skin deep. This isn't that bad. And I let it go, no problems. And I noticed just the other day, I legitimately have a scar, like it is
Oh God.
mass discoloration along the whole length
Oh.
of where this scratch used to be.
That's what I'm saying. That's it right
It
there.
looks worse than the scar I have on my knee from when I leaned my dirt bike and ripped all the skin off of one side of my knee,
That
which is
is
nuts.
exactly what I'm talking about. See, I don't think I have ever used Neosporin, but that stuff, I mean, it may as well be magic, to be totally honest. I don't know how it works, but if you just put that in a Band-Aid on something, it magically goes away.
Yeah.
I don't understand how
The
somebody
magical
made
magic of science.
yeah, somebody made a healing ointment 150 years ago that we still use. Like, yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, you got scratched? Well, here's a cream to put on it. And if you cover it up, it'll be gone.
This may be an interesting time to bring up the fact that I'm actually allergic to Neosporin.
How are
Oh.
you? Wow. How have you survived this far? That was a
There's
major
some
breakthrough
knockoff.
in human history.
There's a legit knockoff of it because like the main ingredient is some stuff called neomycin.
Yeah.
And there's a knockoff called polysporin, which has a different main ingredient but does roughly the same thing, and I'm not allergic to that.
Oh, so you're like allergic to the molds that saves humans,
I guess, yeah.
but the off-brand generic version.
Does that surprise you?
No, it
Does
doesn't.
it?
It doesn't at all.
I mean, this is my first time on the podcast, but basic lore about me is that I'm allergic to literally everything. Except horses, apparently.
Except
But-
horses. Ironically.
Yeah.
Ironically, not allergic to cats or dogs.
What? No, I'm allergic to cats and dogs.
Jeez.
And I
just
live with a
pops-
dog and 4 cats.
Yeah, it just pops
sounds
enough pills
fun.
that it works.
Yeah. No, pop pills, take allergy shots, which I haven't done in like 2 months, which is probably why I've had 2 sinus infections in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it. Oh my
My
God.
body is trying to die. It really wants to.
It's an active process, really. Whoops.
Yep.
What the?
You good?
Uh-oh.
Yep, sorry, my computer is breaking.
Oh
Well,
no.
There it
Don't
goes.
do that.
I'm not trying to. This is exactly like well, it's not exactly like last week when we tried to start recording and then my power went out for like a millisecond, just long enough to shut my entire laptop down. Back up.
That's incredible.
Ugh.
Do you not have like an APC surge protector thing?
I have a surge protector, but not an APC.
Mm.
I should probably invest in one of those. They do seem handy.
It's worth it, honestly.
Yeah.
When the power went out because of the big freeze, our power was out for I don't know, like 8 or 9 hours in total.
Mm.
And my computer was in sleep mode and just running off the APC battery power. It never actually went off.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It kind of was, yeah.
Did I know Austin was like declared like an emergency area for a little while during that storm. Did anything happen up in Dallas, Isaiah?
Are you talking about during the ice storm?
Yeah, the like when was that? 2 weeks ago?
Oh, you mean how pretty much everything was shut down because the roads were covered in ice?
Yes, yes. But did y'all
Yeah.
lose power?
No, we didn't lose. At least not where I live. We didn't lose
Yeah.
power.
Okay.
But I do remember they were talking about like having more rolling blackouts. But I also realized that where I live, like literally my complex, we're right next to a generator.
Oh, beautiful.
So that might be why. Because remember the last time that we had our freeze and we had the rolling blackouts where I used to live, only half of my property had blackouts, and the other half had power the whole time. So I'm wondering if
Wow.
that's the reason why.
Yeah, you guys are on the special grid, and the other half
Yeah,
isn't.
Nice.
exactly.
That's pretty rough. Yeah.
But yeah, no, pretty much everything was shut down because nobody could do anything.
Yeah.
Except for me because I live at my job. So I had to bust my ass
Did you get to
all
putter
week.
around in the ice in the
I wouldn't call it puttering. I would call it more so slip and sliding.
That's fair. Yeah. Are you allowed to
Um,
take the four-wheeler? Or not the four-wheeler, the
the cart,
yeah.
no, I probably was, but I wasn't gonna do that.
Oh, that's I mean
I
reasonable.
they're not really meant to drive in the ice.
Lame.
Fair.
Lame, I say. You could have done some sick drifts.
I also would have crashed probably.
Well, that's on the complex. That ain't on you. They
I
should have
I don't
salted the
think so.
roads. I guess.
Well, see, we salted half the property where like sidewalks and stuff, and it didn't do anything.
Oh well, I guess
So
that's fair.
Yeah, I seem to recall after the first uh Snowmageddon in like 2020 or whatever,
Yeah.
or I guess 2021. Um, I seem to
Yes.
recall
Yeah.
there being like emergency stuff put in place. Like the state actually got up off its ass and was like, "Hey, it does this occasionally. Maybe we should do something about this." And it's happened 2 more times, and it's been the apocalypse both times.
Yeah.
Everything shuts down, rolling blackouts, roads are just unusable. The whole state just stops for a few days.
yeah,
More or less. Yeah. Hopefully, the worst of this year's storms are behind us. Seems like January shouldn't be in Texas in January, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
January, February time frame.
Gotta wait until spring starts coming around to come back into the state.
Yeah, and then leave again in the summer so you don't fry.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. All right, well, we've been rolling for an hour, so I guess we should probably wrap this up here.
All right.
I
Do we
can-
ever have an outro or do we just cut? I don't remember.
We usually just cut, and then I find a spot somewhere in here.